So when I told them about myself and my parents, they asked me a particular question, which was, why do I want to be enrolled in the nursing profession and in their institution as well? So they went through and then they checked my results and they were like, okay, your electives, which of them is related to nursing? I was a home economics student back at SHS. So the electives we did were economics, management in living, biology, and then food and nutrition. So I told them about management in living and food and nutrition. I told them that with the management in living, you would know how to combine your nursing work and that's at home, like what you do at home, your domestic chores. Like with management in living, it tells us a lot about safety, how to manage your time and those stuff. And the food and nutrition, I know people say it's about just cooking food and all sorts of stuff, but that's not really what food and nutrition is about. As the name implies, food and nutrition. With the nutrition, it tells you the amount of nutrients the body needs and those stuff. And with nursing, we know that with nursing, it has to do with nutrition too, in a way. For instance, babies with the condition of malnutrition, you see that a nutritionist and a nurse will be needed in that case. So if you are a nurse and you don't have an idea about nutrition, you see that it's not balanced. But I know you'll be taught in the institution, but it gives you an upper hand.
So per how she described her contributions and experience out there, it was something that you cannot deny her admitting. Because
as I said earlier on, we wrote an AC and there was a time limit for it. It's just like the normal exams we normally write. You have a time limit and you have the number of words you are supposed to write. So when it was time, they took our papers and then they went and mapped it.
Sorry to interrupt you again. I'm curious and there's something that's getting interesting. So I want to get some kind of understanding, especially regarding the exam aspect. I want to know, like, English language, right? So can you tell us what the question was and the instruction given and maybe the time they gave it to you to write the exam? And you said they requested for a number of words, right? My name is Emmanuel Atanga and I'm here with
Dominica.
Mr. Flet.
Mr. Flet, Dominica, Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to have some interview experiences from a gentleman here and a beautiful lady, of course. They're going to share their experiences with us and the schools that they are attending currently. Yes, and I believe that will be a guide for you. Maybe you might be planning to also apply to one of these institutions. You go for an interview. They're also going to tell us how they gain their admission. So that is what we are going to look at today. So I think the gentleman is so, he's looking good. You look so fabulous, man.
Thank you.
Alright, you're welcome. So ladies and gentlemen, we are on it. So we're not going to waste much time. We're going to go straight to the point. We're going to ask them the institution that they are attending and they are going to share with us their interview experiences, what transpired, the questions they asked them, and if there was exams or whatever that they did. So that's what we're going to find out right now. So I'm going to start my left or my right. Anyways, I think ladies first, right? Oh, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, I must say, she's a beautiful lady. So as you are watching, kindly give us a like and subscribe whilst we continue this process. So, Madam Dominica, please, can you share with us?
I'm attending Tamale Nursing and Midwifery Training College.
So, which level are you?
Level 200, please.
Okay, that's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I think what she has for us is going to be very broad and light, and it's going to be interesting because she's an experienced student. Level 200 is not easy. Please, can you share with us briefly your interview experience, what transpired, how it started, and how you gained your admission? Like, we would like to know so that those out there can also learn from you. They also take it as a guide, and as they apply to their institution, they can also follow your trend. If possibly, those questions are repeated, and they are likely to gain admission as well. Alright, so what was your experience?
Okay. It was a blissful Friday and I was supposed to come for the interview on Saturday. So we reported at the venue, that's Tamale NTC, on Friday. So when we reported, they took our details and they gave us place to lay our heads. Then the following day we were called for a written exam, that's English. Specifically, we wrote an essay.
But okay, sorry for interruption. Did they ask you or did they pre-inform you that you'll be writing an exam or it was emergency? Anyway, that's the starting point. But I just want to know whether they informed you or they didn't.
For me, I did my research on the school before applying, so I had an idea that we were going to write an exams, and that was English. So to me, I was pre-informed.
Okay, you are aware,
Yeah.
but not the school. You got to know from friends and do through research, right?
Yes, please.
All right. So I think those watching us, is a good trend for you before you apply to an institution. It's good for you to find out from that institution what is actually happening there. Because let's say you don't know and then you just arrive, and on your arrival you're asked to write an exam. It's going to be a surprise thing for you. So those out there trying to, having the dream of becoming nurses, midwives, always try to inquire from the school what they do, especially advanced students, and you also be able to know what is happening, and that can help you.
As I said earlier on, we wrote an AC and there was a time limit for it. It's just like the normal exams we normally write. You have a time limit and you have the number of words you are supposed to write. So when it was time, they took our papers and then they went and marked it. With the interview, it's in 2 sessions. That's the written and then the oral, 101.
Okay.
So with the written, that's what I just explained earlier on. So after the written, they called us to the interview hall, like where we are going to start the oral session.
Okay.
So when I was called upon, I said excuse before entering the room. You know, it's a norm. When you are going to enter somebody's room or office, you have to say an excuse or you knock.
But sorry to interrupt you again. I'm curious, and there's something that's getting interesting. So I want to get some kind of understanding, especially regarding the exam aspect. I want to know, like, English language, right? So can you tell us what the question was and the instruction given, and maybe the time they gave it to you to write the exam? And you said they requested for a number of words, right?
Yes.
So I know normal exams, they do ask write maybe 250 words, something like that. But I want to know the question so that those out there, it might be a sample for them, so that they can also, do research on questions relating that and other things. Okay. So what was the question and the instruction?
It was a letter we're asked to write, and the letter we're addressing it to the Minister for Health.
Okay.
We're addressing it to the Minister for Health, and the question was we should write a letter to him informing him about things they are supposed to do to improve the quality of health in Ghana. We're supposed to give 3 points, and with the 3 points you are supposed to write up to 250 words, and it lasted for 40 minutes. They gave us like 40 minutes to do that, so that's just it.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So that was for written, right?
Yes,
you said the interview, they are in 2 sessions.
Yeah.
So one is written, the other one is oral. Okay, so we are done with the written. That was the English language you wrote. Yeah. So but then after the exam, did you inquire from your colleagues? You met friends from different places. Others are from maybe Kumasi, others are from Accra, others are from the northern region, and other stuff. So did you write the same questions, or
it depends on the day you are going? There are different questions for different days.
Okay. Beautiful. All right, so let's go to the oral session, like one-on-one, what you were about explaining.
So as I said earlier on, I said an excuse, then they welcomed me in. I greeted them, and I was being offered a seat. You don't just enter somebody's office and offer yourself a seat. You have to be offered a seat. That's like the right thing to do. So I was offered a seat, and when I went, there were 3 panels, 2 females, then a male. So I was offered a seat, and they asked me to introduce myself. So I just told them my name, the school I completed, and just a little bit of history about myself, the things I like, the subjects I like, and those stuff. So it got to a point I forgot to mention something about myself, and they drew it to my notice that I didn't tell them about my parents, and I didn't tell them about my parents, and so I was even laughing, like, why would they be asking me about my parents? Is it really necessary?
I see.
But
I see.
it's their work, and they know what they want. So when I told them about myself and my parents, they asked me a particular question, which was, why do I want to be enrolled in the nursing profession? And in their institution as well. So I told them that I wanted to really save lives. I saw that my community, the way people were falling sick, there's no proper health care. So if I also gain knowledge about this, I'll be able to give assistance to those in my community and beyond. And the reason why I also applied for the institution was that Tamale NMTC, that's Tamale Nursing and Midwifery Training College, is one of the best nursing institutions you can ever find in Ghana. So I said,
hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm finding something interesting from here. Tamale NMTC, Tamale Nursing and Midwifery Training Institution, is one of the best institutions in the country. And I believe it's true, because I'm not saying other students are not the best, but when we talk of the best, it comprises a lot. Maybe the learning style, how students graduate, and how they perform at the clinical side. So those out there, you might also have interest in applying to a prestigious institution like this. So I think it's a good option for you. But then I'm interested in the interview. I'm going to proceed with that. So Miss Dominica, let's go. I found interest in what you just said. That's why I'm just interrupting.
Okay. So they asked me when I was in SHS, like, what role did I play in the school? What was the achievement I gave to the school? And when I was in SHS, I was part of the debaters club, and I was also part of the intellectuals club, which involves arguing. There's a motion that is being given to the house, then you just argue about it, and there's a winner. So that was, I participated in the debate. And with the intellectuals, it comprises of reading, acting, and then cultural display. So after that question, they also asked me,
before we switch to the next question, for the benefit of the audience out there, those watching us, you had experience at the secondary school level. You were part of the debate club and the intellectuals club, and that was beautiful. But what do you have to tell this is someone who have not who didn't join any club? Because I don't think it's all students that do that, because most students are timid and they feel like they can't do something. So due to that, they don't participate in some of the activities on campus. So what will be a response to someone who do not have any club or association when the person was at the secondary school level? What will be the response?
When we were giving the admission, let me move to when we were giving the admission. There are most students that they didn't participate in anything like at the SHS level, but still they were still giving the admission. Just tell them that, I didn't participate in any of the school's activities, like I didn't join any club per se. And if they ask you why, you have a reason. Just tell them maybe you were not interested, or your school didn't have a club. You know what to tell them.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is so interesting to me, because most students out there, it's true that maybe they are not part of some associations. So due to that, when questions like this are asked, they fumble of how to answer it. But I think that's a good response from her. That's her experience, and many students gain admission without even answering some questions correctly, all because of how you address them, how you respond to them. So you have to understand that it's not about answering the question correctly, but how you present yourself, how you dress, and all those things that are needed going for an interview. So that was good one out there, and I think you can also pick it up when you are asked the same question. You know how to respond to that. So let's move to the next stage. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we have Mr. Flet here. Yeah, Mr. Flet is silent at the moment, but I think there's a lot of things that are going on right now. You have a lot to talk about. Yeah. But I think it's more of fire. Right now I'm getting interest in the ladies' responses to their questions and how their experiences were. Yeah, so after that we switch to Mr. Flet, and I believe Mr. Flet have a lot to tell us, and that will be a good guide to you. So we've not forgotten about Mr. Flet. We are still on the show with Mr. Flet. So by now, ladies first. You get that right? Okay, so let's proceed.
Okay, so I was asked to bring the things that were required for the interview. That's your birth cert, your results, and documents that I was supposed to present. So they took it and then they went through.
Sorry. I want to get it clear for the benefit of our audience out there. You mean before you go for an interview, they will ask you to bring some documents that are required?
Yes, please.
Okay, and you said they are
your birth cert.
Birth cert.
That's the biometric. If you don't bring a biometric birth cert, they might consider you, but that's the appropriate thing to bring, the biometric birth cert. Then your result slip, whether you wrote NOVDEC or WASI. If you wrote the 2, you just bring the 2 at a go. Like it depends. The reason why I said you bring the 2 at a go, if you applied for the school with 2 results, you bring it. If it's with 3 results, you bring it.
Okay. All right. So let's say I don't have a birth cert, right? So and I apply to the institution. Can I definitely come for the interview whilst my birth cert is on process?
Yeah, they would ask for it. Then you tell them, oh, I don't have a birth cert, that it's in the process. They are still making it. Okay. You know, we are human beings, so they might be considerate and they might not be considerate. Okay. We just hope for the best.
Sure. All right, that's great. So, can you take us further? Like, let's see what happens.
So they went through and then they checked my results and they were like, okay, your electives, which of them is related to nursing? I was a home economics student back at SHS. So, you know, the electives we did were economics, management in living, biology, and then food and nutrition. So I told them about management in living and food and nutrition. I told them that with the management in living, you would know how to combine your nursing work and that's at home, like what you do at home, your domestic chores. You know, like with management in living, it tells us a lot about safety, how to manage your time and those stuff. And the food and nutrition, I know people say it's about just cooking food and all sorts of stuff, but that's not really what food and nutrition is about. As the name implies, food and nutrition. With the nutrition, it tells you the amount of nutrients the body needs and those stuff. And with nursing, we know that with nursing, it has to do with nutrition too, in a way. For instance, babies with the condition of malnutrition, you see that a nutritionist and a nurse will be needed in that case. So if you are a nurse and you don't have an idea about nutrition, you see that it's not balanced. But I know you'll be taught in the institution, but it gives you an upper hand. So they went through and they asked me those questions and they showed me my results, and God being so good, because I already learned ahead, like I prepared myself very well. You know, you don't go somewhere unprepared. You see, you begin to fumble in the process. But because I did my research and I prepared accurately, the results were being shown to me. I didn't really perform, but it was good. I had 70%. So that was all I experienced in the interview room. It's a whole enjoyment altogether. Like you begin to meet different kind of people. Like if you're the type that likes socializing, like me, the way I like making friends, like I made a lot of friends, and God being so good, we all gained admission and we are here. So that was my experience.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the interesting moments I've had. Yeah, because this is so lovely and interesting. More to the point, the part that I was getting so much loving into the topic was how her elective related to the profession, and she was explaining the nutrition. You know, many people out there, when they talk about nutrition, they talk about just about the eating, and then it's not about the eating. Yeah. So that means that there is more attached to the nutrition in relation to the nursing alone. So nutrition in this phase is a beautiful contribution to answering the question. So it can be anything about your elective. It can be chemistry, it can be mathematics. I think E-Maths is part. Yeah, they can ask you questions to explain or give out a formula. We have almighty formula, right? Okay. Yes. So that was so good. Yeah. I'm really happy about how you shared your experience, and
I'm also grateful.
Oh God. So I think it's nice being in the nursing training college or the university. Yeah, because it's a beautiful moment. You get to learn a lot. It's not about the school alone, but you got to make new friends. You interact with a lot of people. You engage with authorities, and you get to have a lot of experiences out there. So it's a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Mr. Flett is also having something. He have cooked something hot for us. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but Mr. Flett.
Yeah.
I was trying to say I'm satisfied with the experiences that came from this side, you know, because it was a good experience, and someone taking it out there, the person can also be built up and be able to gain admission to the institute. Because I learned these days it's not easy getting admission to institutions, because we have one school week might be taking 500 students, and over 10,000 students have applied to that institution. Like I'm like, wow, 10,000 students applying to one school, and how are you going to gain admission? 500. So per how she described her, contributions and experience out there, it was something that you cannot deny her admission. Yeah, because you could understand that it's not about money, it's not about buying the institution, it's not about presenting something to somebody, but it's about, you know, your experience level, how you trying to answer the questions, how you going to respond to them. That is very important. So let's go to Mr. Flett.
Yeah.
Mr. Flett, I'm loving the name Mr. Flett. Mr. Flett, yeah. Is it a scientific name or is it?
No, it's just a normal name.
It's just a normal name.
It's an English name.
But it seems this is the first time I'm hearing that name.
Okay, you can browse about Flett.
Flett.
Yeah.
It's about money.
No, not.
Well, I love dollars, you know.
It's about money.
It's about money.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Flett,
Yeah.
in brief, can you tell us your institution where you are schooling currently? You share with us your interview experiences, how you gain your admission. It's going to guide a lot of people out there as they also have the dreams of becoming nurses, midwives, other professions. That's okay. So I want you to share with us your interview experience, the institution that you attended.
Okay, sure. My institution is Korle Bu NTC.
Let me hear that again. You said Korle Bu
NTC.
Oh wow. Korle Bu NTC, yeah. It's one of the prestigious institutions. I like using that word, yeah. Prestigious institutions in the country, yeah.
Sure.
So someone sharing his experience from Korle Bu NMTC about how interview was and how he gained his admission is something shout out to you that you can also battle upon. So let's move on, Mr. Flett.
Okay, so actually, I don't know whether their school copied our school or our school copied them.
You don't know whether
I don't know whether their school copied the way they do
No,
our
your
thing,
school copied by school.
or my school copied the way they do their thing.
Anyway, but when we delve into your experience, maybe I believe there might have been some slight difference.
Sure.
So let's see what you have there.